everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Hungove Hour Podcast. I'm Cone Niddle, one of the hosts on this shit show of a podcast here. I am joined by Plonk and the Pidge, the biggest of Pidges. And, I don't know where to go from there.
That's cool. Am I like a guest or a co-host?
You're the first few guys that joined in. You're co-hosts.
I was
Okay,
the
cool.
first person to join. I think
Yes,
that
you
makes
were.
me a co-host.
Can we be like guests for the first episode and then we'll be co-hosts for the following episode?
I'll put you guys as guests for the first one.
Okay, cool.
Because this is a new experience for us.
Yeah, I mean, I've been
Somewhat.
on a few, but like this is my first time trying to run one, and realized it's a lot more work than it looks like.
Hope it goes well. I had my friend the Muppet Kid. I think his name's Max. He started a podcast. He did one episode so far where he's interviewing like music artists that he follows and kind of talking to them about their like process and like their inspirations and whatnot. I think it's pretty cool.
Get him to interview Clams Casino, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I found it's always easy to like, okay, make the server and then hit record. But the hard part is, having the compelling sort of personality to drive the podcast forward. That's always the challenge.
The hard part I've always found for podcasts is, I could sit here and talk, but like I'll just sit here and talk about the same thing for 1 hour. Like that gets really boring really quick, in my opinion, for a podcast.
Yeah.
It does.
I've found that the podcasts that I am more drawn to are ones that have, it's not like a super strict, but it's some kind of schedule kind of formula thing. So like, for example, the Distractable podcast, they start by having a little bit of small talk at the beginning, and then they go into, okay, every one person's the host, and then the two co-hosts share a story that's related to a topic, whatever the episode's about, and then the host picks the one that he likes the most and makes them the host for the next episode.
Okay, that's a good idea, yeah.
And then go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, Aaron is the funny one. They do something a little bit different. They have a wine of the week at the beginning of each episode. They review a different kind of wine, and then they kind of get into whatever the meat of the podcast is, whether they're sharing us a story or they're reading a script somebody wrote or they're reviewing something or they're having quizzes. They do a lot of quiz things. And then at the end of every episode, they write fake horoscopes to make each other read. And that's pretty funny as well.
Do they have an intro where it's like, I'm the funny one, I'm the something one? Because I feel like
No.
I've seen like a video intro like that on Twitter. I'm
No,
probably thinking of something else, but...
Aaron is the funny one is a podcast by Jack Douglas and Aaron Hansen.
Oh, wait. No, it's his wife, Erin.
Yeah, that's what I said, Aaron Hansen.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, he is Aaron Hansen. You're right. I just recently started watching Jack's films. Like, I always knew about him, but I never really, I don't know, it just didn't seem like the kind of thing I'd want to watch. And then I just, out of the blue, just started watching because a lot of people I know started talking about it. And I really like his content. He's a very funny guy. I think it's interesting because it's clear he, makes an attempt to keep up on recent memes. Like, you'll watch his videos and he'll talk, just reference the most recent meme of the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, because, he knows his audience is probably just a bunch of Zoomers, but,
Yeah. He does it pretty good with that. AVGN also manages to keep kind of throwing surprises at you as an audience. I feel like one of the biggest things creatively that sets James Rolfe from like Doug Walker, for example, like they've worked together in the past, but I feel like Doug Walker has lagged behind in recent years while AVGN has kind of just been evolving as an artist, and he tries to push his videos in different ways with each new episode. I really like the one where the entire episode was done in one long shot where he walked around a big set. That was really cool.
Which episode was that? I have not seen that.
It was one of the I know it was an NES game review. I'd have to look it up, but he's done that, and of course he's done kind of crossover episodes with shit. I don't know how he got that one. What's his name? What's the guy that voices Iago? Shit.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Look,
Thank you.
Gilbert Gottfried will do anything for money. Have you seen what that guy does on Cameo? He will say
Yes.
literally anything.
I
Is
gotta
that-
admit, one of my favorite things of Gilbert Godfrey is him just rehearsing the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that shit.
It is so good because it's like such a sexy book, but it can't be sexy. It's Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, he's just fucking screaming. It's great.
As he
I mean,
enters his cock, it's like, oh yeah, keep talking, buddy.
Yeah, I mean that, and he got fucking Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Coughlin.
That guy.
Yeah.
He was also
got-
on a bunch of Red Letter Media episodes too. He was just kind of going around with a bunch of big YouTubers. It was great.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. Trying to find that. Oh, he remastered the Head Incident from 1999.
All I'll say is, just watching his more recent episodes, he doesn't seem as angry as he used to.
And I feel like that's kind of a good thing, and some because I mean
Yeah.
his old videos, it was more of a novelty to have, you know, YouTube videos where you're screaming where you're swearing every 5 seconds, right? That was
Saying, like, donkey tits and shit. Yeah.
right. But there is a point where that gets a little bit tiring, and so it's refreshing to hear him use his vocabulary in a more reserved way, where the when he does like swear and when he does use like those like his classic sort of what's it, I'm trying to think, it's
Little
like
random XD angry
No.
humor.
like simulate, like he'll say something like, I'd rather have my cactus dick trapped in a cock and ball torture chamber,
Rather
right?
have
Like
a buffalo
yeah.
take a diarrhea dump in his
Yeah.
ear. That
He
sort of thing.
yeah, but when he does stuff like that, and when he uses his really like colorful language, it has more of an impact when he does say it. And
Yeah, I feel that.
yeah, because he uses it, he waits until the right moment. Now he doesn't throw it out every couple seconds like he did in his old videos. He's thought about them more methodically, so they have more impact, and it feels fresh. It feels fresher.
You know, but there was really something about like that era of like just everyone was angry and yelling, like the Filthy Frank era of YouTube type of
Yeah.
genre. There is just something special about that. Like we're never gonna get something like that again, because
No.
like YouTube's like, oh, you ate vomit in a cake, that's just your channel's gone. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even though I was maybe a little bit too young to really understand what Filthy Frank was really about at the time, I appreciate looking back what he kind of did for internet culture, and the way that he kind of commentated on different kinds of YouTube channels, different kinds of creators at the time. People that spend too much time reading comments. He kind of parodied that with his, you know, Filthy Frank reading hate comments, and his what was it? His video where he like what was it? He is like a animal betting on animals, making them fight to the death or something.
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of commentating on those kinds of channels, and it's
Oh,
some
I am happy that like the hate comment thing has continued on, because those are just always funny. Pay Money Wubby is a guy who does them every now and then, and this like, so you can either be like listening to him now. His ones now are pretty tame, but if you go back 2016, 2015 times, it's the whitest ginger man dropping as many N-bombs as he wants, and it is something. It's like, wow, this is this is what the internet used to be like.
Yeah. That's
yeah. I'm glad that we've moved on from that, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
I think it's crazy that like a lot of people forget, like going back to Filthy Frank, I think it's insane that pretty much everybody forgets that he literally started the Harlem Shake. Like he is literally responsible for it.
Oh yeah.
Nobody
is-
ever remembers that.
And then like when he turned into Joji, and then I know like a lot of his fans now don't know about him back then, but when they learned about like, oh, Joji's Filthy Frank, it was this internet fiasco of people just like, we should cancel him. What are we gonna do, guys? Oh my god, this is so offensive. But it's like
Yeah.
he did something way different back then. That's no one else did. No one's gonna be out there fucking putting ravioli in their shirts and going to Central Park.
But
fucking
people
taking
also
it out and slurping it.
people also forget that Filthy Frank was a character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What most of those public trolling like sections were, they weren't like real. He did it in front of his friends or just people that he asked to be there, right? If you read the description of his YouTube channel, it's made pretty clear. He is the embodiment of everything a person should not be. He is anti-PC, anti-social, and anti-couth. He behaves and reacts excessively to everything expressively to highlight the ridiculousness of racism, misogyny, legalism, injustice, ignorance, and other social blights. He also sets an example for how easy it is in the social media for any zany material to gain traction / followings by simply sharing unsavory opinions and joking about topics many find offensive.
Yeah, I think it was like I remember reading like an interview he did. He basically said he wanted to like drag everyone down into the dirt. Like it didn't matter what you believed in. He wanted to make fun of everybody. And I think he did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. He did it a way that wasn't like, oh my god, everyone's gonna freak out about it either. It was all good fun. Like, we don't get that anymore. We don't have the good fun. It's like, oh, if you make fun of someone, either you're gonna get canceled or that person's gonna lose their career. Like, shit happens.
I think there's lines that should be drawn in terms of that, but I don't know. I think the way he did it, it was I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
It was pretty solid.
Yeah. Like I think the Mac versus PC video was pretty funny. That's one that I remember quite vividly.
I actually don't remember that video.
Yeah. That was the one video where like whether or not you knew Filthy Frank was, a character, you could watch it and tell that most of it was a joke, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was a skit. It wasn't, it wasn't directed at, it's not hateful content directed at PC or Mac users in particular,
Yeah, it's very clear that it's so over the top that I don't think anybody could conceivably think
exactly
of it as anything but a joke.
Yeah. But as soon as you see videos like that where he's doing the same over the top thing, but he's talking about things that are a little bit more sensitive. Trying to think of examples. He did a video where he tried like rapping. He's like, my dick gets bigger, and then like a guy opens the door just before he says the N-word, like 2 times.
Yeah.
And then of course at the end he joins in with him. And I mean I can't comment a whole lot on that, but there's if he was
I think he definitely took some of that from the whole Jesus Christ is my, you know what the next word is?
Yeah.
Rap. Yeah.
Oh.
I think he took that from that video, but that's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah. I hate that I can't tell if that video is real or not.
Oh, it's real. It's absolutely. I promise you, it's 1,000% real.
I actually watched it.
Who convinced these poor old people to make this song?
The poor man who's recording
white
it.
people. Yeah, they're like 60-year-old white people. Like they probably live in like fucking Indiana or something, and they've probably never seen a black person ever. And they're just like they want to do what they believe will help them reach the what I guess what most big companies would call the quote urban market unquote.
Gotta reach the youth.
Yeah, which is just a non-racist way of saying black people, because that's what they say to avoid sounding fucked up, even though it's still fucked up.
Yeah.
But that's absolutely 1,000% real. I promise you, because I've talked to and met people like that, like people that are just like that guy who are so unaware of just how the
Bro.
world works outside of their pathetic little town.
So
And
like
Yeah.
I was
You
dating this. I dated this girl for like probably 2 years, and we were like, I was really close with her family after a while, and her grandma was literally that guy. I got her to say the word totally accidentally. Like all right, so it said spice, but she left out the e. Let's just say that, like type of stuff like that, and she's like,
oh
oh,
god,
she's like, oh. What did I
Wait.
say? I'm looking at her. I'm like, oh, it's the bad word for Mexicans that starts with an S. I'm not gonna say it because I don't
Oh.
have the race card to say that.
Wait a
But-
minute. Oh wait. Wait a minute. So that's because I'm gonna maybe I'm thinking of a different thing, but like because I remember hearing like that had to have been in like rated G movies, right? Like 'cause people use the phrase like spick and span, right? Or is that something
yeah,
different?
but
Yeah,
that's
but,
a
like,
different word.
it-
That's a different word with a different connotation.
It's
Okay.
it's pretty much it's like how the word it sounds the same, but it's like not the same. You know, it's like the God, I'm really gonna hope this comes through right. Like a jigger, you know, like the like stuff you use for like alcohol and stuff. Like I've heard people totally mispronounce that, and it comes off pretty wrong. But like
Yeah.
they didn't mean to. Like that does happen.
And also, one thing I distinctly remember as a child, I was playing RuneScape. I don't know where I was, or like where I was in the game, or what kind of quest I was doing. But there was a character that instead of saying Snicker, they said S, and then the word hard R.
Yeah.
And
I remember
had never,
seeing
Never recovered.
yeah.
yeah.
I remember seeing an image, like a photoshopped image of a Snickers bar that was spelt like that, and I think the name of the subreddit was called "Dangerously Close" or something, or
That's just,
images on ice.
Ooh,
yeah, that's not dangerously close.
that's
Yeah.
just
The
it.
word. Yeah, that's. Honestly, I can't fucking stand Reddit. I really can't. Like the only times I've used it is like very niche information about like video games I'm playing. Like
Yeah.
for example,
If you
Monster
wanna,
Hunter. Like that game is all just fucking crunching numbers. So like if I need like very specific information, I'll look on Reddit. But for anything
Right.
else,
Yeah.
I will just
If you
avoid
want
looking.
help, yeah, if you want help with something, Reddit's usually a decent place to look. But if you, that's yeah, Reddit's a strange kind of uh environment.
Reddit's weird. Like I use it for one subreddit. It's called narco footage, and that's it.
Oh.
Like
Tell us about narco footage.
narco footage is people in Mexico and southern United States documenting and showing every single action any cartel has done to other cartels, to people, to like their like own cartel, like crazy shit like that. Like I found out that my hometown of San Diego had someone just hanging from a bridge the other day. Was part
Oh,
of the
oh
part of the
dear.
CD and J, which is cartel down in Mexico, very big one, very militia cartel, and I just learned about it from Reddit.
Woohoo!
And
I'm
what's the
I'm
subreddit called?
The subreddit is called narco footage.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna look into that.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping that Reddit would be about just like clips from Narcos from Netflix.
Good show, really good
Yep.
show. I've only
The-
seen
the-
the first, like the
One of the
Pablo Escobar bit.
That-
That shit's
yeah.
great.
One of the
That's
funny
probably r
things is,
slash
like,
Narcos out of context.
like one of the funniest thing is like cartels have Instagrams and like Twitters. Like I follow a couple of cartel members on Instagram, and
Of course you do.
their go-to song is the Narcos theme song. Like every fucking time.
It's
That's-
a good song. It's
It
a good
is.
song. That song goes so hard.
It's either the Narcos theme song or there's one Hispanic rap song that like I have zero idea what it is or the words to it because I do not speak Spanish. But it's those two songs out of like
Yeah.
There's also
thousands
this
of
Big
videos.
Sean. There's this Big Sean song, which Big Sean is. I think he's like a, at least in my mind, he's kind of like a polarizing because like I like a lot of the stuff he's done and I hate a lot of the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
But he has this one song that just has this like Spanish guitar beat. It's such a good beat. It's a really good song. And in the beginning, he's like, "Damn, this shit sound like Narcos." And like whenever I like I was rewatching Narcos last year actually, and whenever I would never skip the intro, but whenever I was watching the intro, I could only just think of that song.
Yeah, man, when the Narcos, theme song hits, like, oh man, and then it goes da na 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 na. Man, that's so good. I have never seen Narcos. I probably should watch Narcos.
You really should
Narcos is
only
pretty
watch the. It's really just 2 seasons. I mean, there are other seasons, but you just want to watch the parts about Pablo Escobar. Fuck everything else. The stuff about Pablo Escobar, it's excellent TV. I will recommend watch it with the captions on so you know what they're saying. Like there's a lot of English dialogue, but obviously there's a lot of Spanish dialogue. But the most interesting part, I think, is the guy that they cast to play Pablo Escobar is actually like German. His name is like Wagner. But he's clearly fluent in Spanish.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks like a frumpier just like a shittier version of Pablo Escobar, but he does the role so well.
It was really surreal seeing people from China and Japan in visiting Mexico and speaking fluent Spanish.
Where'd you see that?
I think it was some Netflix special.
Okay.
I do know
feel
that
like
with like Brazil, like they have like 2 million Japanese people living in Brazil, and they like 200,000 Chinese people, I think. So like it's very common for like Spanish speaking countries or like Portuguese speaking countries to like have an Asian population because it's right there.
Yeah,
that's fascinating. I never knew that. And I have a friend in Brazil. He's been my friend for years. I never knew that.
When are you going to Brazil, Pidge?
Honestly, I'd like to, if for no other reason than to chill with my friend. Like I've told him, I was like,
For real.
one day when I have a bunch of money, I'll go to Brazil, but I'm also gonna hire a bunch of like fucking mercenaries to like.
I legit thought you were about to say the only reason I'm gonna go is because they're so homophobic, and I was like, that just clicked in my head for some reason.
I'm disappointed. I'm upset that that's what you assumed about me. I thought you would know me well enough by now, but I'll allow it, I suppose.
Yeah. Bro, like, why would you think Pidge is homophobic?
I'm the most non-homophobic person.
Bro,
we make out every Tuesday.
Yeah, it's true.
Wait, Pidge, I thought that was our thing.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I really hate to.
I'm sorry we had to tell you like this.
I like you. Like I can't put into words how much I like you, but it's not an exclusive thing. I'm really sorry to tell you. I'm so sorry. Honestly,
It's okay.
I feel terrible.
Plonk, I guess we're just gonna have to meet up.
we're gonna have to throw some hands. I have a bag of like 100 hands. I'm ready to throw all of them. We're gonna have like a.
How did you acquire
hand.
100 hands?
I don't think that's a story you want the answer to. I don't think Plonk wants to implicate himself.
Every prison has like a guy that executes, all the people on death row. I'm that guy. I do the executions. So I just take some, trophies.
Lethal injections or.
We're talking like
I think that's the only.
Yeah, I mean, we do lethal injections, and then after he's dead, I take a little trophy when they're not looking.
So you must have killed at least 50 people.
Yeah, I keep a little collection. 100 hands, 50 people.
How do you keep them, preserved? Like, what do you do?
I just throw them in the ice chest.
Oh, yeah, that's the best way to keep your meat sealed.
I thaw them out just before any like water balloon fight, and I always win.
I mean, yeah.
Nobody expects you to throw human hands.
Yeah.
The like meta strat of water balloon fights of you fill up all the water balloons up with normal, but you take one and you piss in it, and then you take that piss balloon and you just chuck it at the one person you know is gonna win.
Yeah.
And it hits them. They got piss all over them, you win because they have to run off and clean the piss off. I
Yeah.
heard this when I was 10 years old.
You want to know what sucks about being me? Is that I'm allergic to latex, like very allergic to latex. So if latex gets near my face, my throat will completely fucking close up, and I'll have to go to the hospital. I found this out the hard way. I was 5, and we were having a birthday party, and I guess like we had some latex balloons, and my whole fucking face puffed up, and then my throat closed up, and I had to go to the hospital. And since then, like whenever I go to like a doctor's appointment or anything, I have to be like, please don't use latex gloves. And yeah, I've never actually had a real water balloon fight because that's just, I would probably just die.
So I shouldn't have sent you that latex bondage suit then.
Oh fuck! When did you send it?
About a week ago. It should be at your house soon.
All right, well I'll tell the people at the front desk to throw it out if they get it, because yeah, I can't even
front
come close
desk
to it.
classic.
Don't worry, I'll get you a vinyl suit next time.
Yes, please. Thank you. That's much better. But yeah, I have a whole front desk. We used to have like a security guard guy, but we just don't have one anymore. I guess probably because of COVID. But it's usually just.
It definitely it wasn't because of any quirky characters at night.
Can I actually rant for a second?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So the people at the front desk they rotate in shifts. Like one of them is like I think like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then 3 to 11 and then 11 to 7 or something like that. But the lady that's there in the mornings is so fucking rude. She's like literally the shortest person I've ever seen. She sounds and looks like Tweety Bird, and she's just so unnecessarily rude all the time. I don't know if that is just like who she is, but or I don't know if I'm just misreading her, but I just get such bad vibes from her that I try to just avoid even just interacting with her at all times. And sometimes I'm like afraid, like am I the asshole? Yeah, get it out now. But like I just feel like am I misjudging, like how she's acting and me not being
Self-aware.
me not being self-aware. Like I don't know, it's just I get the vibe that she's just always being rude to me, but maybe it's me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just something I think about.
This is
I mean, shorter people are inherently closer to hell. So
yeah, and she is uncharacteristically short. She is like definitely like in the 4-foot range. Like she's very short.
bro, I used to know a girl who was 4'3", and that was
Whoa.
some of the funniest shit. And she was my age too, so it was like, yeah, you look like a child, but you're 21 years old. Okay.
Wow.
bro.
Yeah, going out drinking with the friends, and she would come with sometimes, and like the bartender would be like, "Hey, why the fuck are you here?
Is your mother here?
Yeah, why are you here? Do you need a sucker or something?"
That's the most condescending bullshit.
Kanado, did you just fucking say sucker?
Yeah.
You sound like when you say that, you sound like some 78-year-old great grandma in Wisconsin who like has a shotgun and spends all of her days on the porch. Like who the fuck says sucker? It's a lollipop.
I fucking say sucker.
I want to say there's kind of there's a difference, right? Like the shit with the rainbows on it, or the stuff that has like bubble gum or chocolate in the center, like those are lollipops, right? A sucker has nothing in it, and it's just a tiny ass little. It's like a dum dum, right?
Yeah,
those are
dum-dums.
dum dums or suckers. Anything bigger than that, and it has something in the middle, or if it's like shaped differently, then that's a lollipop.
I really think it's just a regional thing, just like how a lot of
Right.
people in the Midwest refer to soda as pop, whereas me on the East Coast we call it soda.
Right. I've always just called it water too. But
Water too. Okay, well, then wouldn't that just be H2O2? That's like poisonous. You could die from drinking that shit, bro.
oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, never
No.
drink H2O2. Just because there's an
yeah.
extra 2 there doesn't mean it's better. That shit will
Yeah.
kill you.
It's kind of odd. Like I used to drink a lot of Diet Coke when I was younger, but I've kind of like grown a distaste to all sodas except for like root beers sometimes. Like yeah, like when I drink soda nowadays, it's a rare thing, and it's like I'm gonna drive out to like a Rocket Fizz or something, right, and buy some like craft soda, some good, cream sodas or whatnot.
Get an egg cream and get a nice cheeseburger and go to the drive-in.
Yeah.
I
I
remember,
don't like egg creams. I tried one in Brooklyn. I didn't like it.
Anything with eggs sounds gross. I've never even had an egg cream. I was just like talking like you're someone in the 1950s.
No, they do sell egg cream. Like there was a shop I went to. It
have
was
you
the
guys have you guys ever had a phosphate before? It's a type of soda.
What the hell is that?
never heard
Uh,
of phosphate.
So a phosphate, it's basically it's an old school soda. It's seltzer water, and like they actually put all the syrups in by hand and fully hand mix it. And like there's a place in my town that's from like when my town was formed. Like it's been there that long, and they
Whoa.
still sell seltzer waters and malt shakes for the original price of like $1.50, and that is the shit.
Okay, that sounds lit as fuck. I would love to try it. Yeah, that actually sounds awesome. I would love
These
that.
beverages became popular among children in the 1870s in the United
Yeah, I was
States.
gonna say, so that your town's probably been there since like the fucking early 1900s, if I had.
Oh
to
yeah,
guess.
like
Yeah.
I think it was 1880.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Bro, yeah, I gotta find
it's
a phosphate soda shop now.
it is funny because like they have this like wall in their buildings, like the history of this shop, and they very strangely put out the time where there was a very large KKK presence in my town. That's just not on there.
Oh. Yeah, that's a bit sus.
Yeah. What were
The
you guys doing?
the few like vintage sodas that I've had that I really liked are well, it's not really so Sprecher sells a cream soda that's really good. It's flavored with raw honey, or it's
Ooh.
sweetened with raw honey.
Sounds nice.
Really nice, cream soda, kind of goes down nice and smooth. And then I tried this like Moxie brand. It's kind of a vintage cola. It's got it's I think it's got like molasses in it or something. It has a little bit of that molassesy aftertaste to it, but it kind of if you groove with it, it goes down pretty nice. You just gotta get used to it after the first couple sips.
Moxie's good. There's one I forget. It's a huckleberry flavored soda. It's like an old school one, and that one's probably one of my top tens, like canned or bottled sodas. It is strangely. I'm not sure if it's only a West Coast thing, but it's amazingly good.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about how the word huckleberry just sounds like the most backwater head ass type thing? Probably just
Well,
because
yeah,
of
of
like
course.
Huckleberry Finn, you know?
Yeah,
but-
that's what you're thinking of.
yeah, just if somebody just says huckleberry, I just think like the fucking sticks out in like West Virginia where dudes fuck their own tractors and stuff. That's what I think
Right.
of when I hear huckleberry.
Hey, that's Oregon. We fuck tractors here. West Virginia fucks their cousins. Okay.
West
Get your facts
Virginians
straight.
also fuck tractors because I know people from West Virginia and I've heard stories.
Bro, there's like Oregon's cool. Oregon's fun, but like some of the people here like are kind of crazy. Like there was a couple weeks ago on the news, some dude got arrested straight up in the middle of downtown for fucking his car.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how does one fuck one's car?
That's
could you,
what
like,
I
explain
wanna
to me the
know.
logistics?
Have you
The-
not
the-
seen that TLC video?
Oh, I've seen it, but even they don't explain it. Like, sure, you see the dude like kissing the car, but
Right.
like, I mean, I guess you could fuck the exhaust pipe, but your dick would have to be pretty thick to like get anything out of that.
I'm
he
thinking
has to
like
like stuff it first.
you know your like radiator heats up really quick. I'm thinking you start the car for about 2-3 seconds, and you turn it off, pull off the radiator hose, and then go to town.
I guess yeah, that could work.
What if you just shoved a fucking you just shove a flashlight inside the exhaust pipe and then use that.
I mean,
so,
yeah,
wait,
that
here-
could work.
Here's actually the part we're missing. Was he the guy fucking the car, or was the car giving it to him?
From
Could-
from what I understand in the video, he was like fucking the car.
Yeah.
From my understanding, anyway.
That car probably wasn't consenting, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it can't really consent. I mean, the horse didn't consent to Mr. Hands, but he still went for it.
So, I mean, rape is essentially, the act of. Yeah, that we're taking quite a turn here now, by the way.
It's going
Um,
dark.
So rape
should,
is the act
bring
of
it back up.
non-consensual sex. So, if you're fucking an inanimate object, is that rape? Because it can't consent because it's not, sentient.
I think it's if it can, rape should be defined as against somebody else's will. You're not, fucking
Yeah.
someone else who has a will. If it doesn't have a will, then you're not, raping it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say,
Okay.
oh man, I raped this sleeping bag roll
You
when I
are
was
you
13.
are
Like,
you are using it to please yourself.
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
There is-
I think that's the best way to put it.
There's no second party involved. It's just you and your props.
Your props.
On that note, I'm going to take a quick potty break,
Oh,
so we can cut this out.
Oh, for sure.
He's gotta pee really
I
bad.
do. And we're back.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
So,
Why are we so cumgry?
Cumgry?
Hungry for cum?
Hungry for cum. I don't know. I think that's just you. On that
have
one.
you guys ever
I'm-
cummed on
Oh.
yourselves? Have you ever got cum on yourself?
Yes.
That's
I've had a girl
everyone.
force
Man.
me to eat it once.
All right, tell me more, please. I need all the details. Go. now.
So this is the same girl whose grandmother said a very interesting racial slur.
Of course it was, naturally,
but,
yes.
So hanging out at her place, and she's giving me the sloppy toppy, and I'm
course.
sitting there, absolute bliss, enjoying my life. In my lane, very vibrant, loving every
Unbothered.
second of it. Just
Unbothered, moisturized.
Fantastic of the Chrome Dome 5000 that
Yes.
I'm receiving right
The
now.
Guck Guck 10,000, yes.
Yes, I lit the load loose, and then I'm like that moment of just like you catch your breath, and then I feel her hand like on my shoulder, and then she like goes up, and then she just whispers, "Taste yourself," and just makes out with me, and I'm like, I felt the nut enter my mouth, and I'm like, no.
How did it taste?
Bro, you should have.
What did it taste like? I'm
Okay.
curious.
Not taste metally. Texture is the weird part. It was like slimy but solid.
Yeah, I probably would have just puked, honestly. Like,
I didn't
I-
talk to her for a couple days after that. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah, honestly, real shit. If a girl just
Bro,
forced that
if-
on me, I'd
okay,
probably
look.
just dump her. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't
Bro,
care
dated her
how
for
hot
another
they
6
are or
months
anything.
after that.
All right, but think about this though. If she's willing to eat your load, you should be willing to eat your own load too.
You know,
Okay. I think it's only fair.
that girl peed in my mouth once, and I didn't say anything about it. Didn't even question it, and she did that to me, and I'm like, yo, this was like this. I didn't want this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
think
would draw the
boundaries
line
have
at
to be
pee.
set. Like, I don't know. Like, if
Yeah.
I think the general consensus, at least among most, straight white males like ourselves. Well, I'm not assuming anything. Are we all straight white men?
Yes, I assume so.
Okay.
Like 80% straight.
Hey, that's
Hey,
great.
there's
If
some
you're
cute
not
guys out
100%
there,
straight,
man. I'm gonna be honest.
I did have a crush on one guy in high school.
That's
But
pretty epic.
but also for the first couple weeks I thought he was a woman.
Oh.
So
I see. Okay.
I mean my opinion didn't change after I realized. So there's
I've
that.
also had. Honestly, I've also had feelings for a guy before, so I get it. But I don't know. I think most. I feel like I'm treading like dangerous water here, but I don't know. Most people I've met, they don't. Most dudes I've met don't want to taste their own cum. Like
Yeah.
it's one thing to taste someone else's cum, but your own cum. I don't know. There's something. I don't know about that. Like I don't know. So like
There's probably a level of morbid curiosity.
I have
mean-
been curious, but I don't know. It's just I like I know
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
texture feels like, you know. And
Right.
okay, here's a funny story. One time I was a senior in high school, and these two girls, it was like towards the end of my senior year, so like nobody gave a shit. We were like watching a movie in like I don't know, fucking English class or some shit, and these two girls behind me just were just loudly talking about what cum tastes like, just so everybody could hear it, and nobody fucking said a goddamn thing. They were just talking about what cum tasted like, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it tastes like creamy salt water." And Kanelo, can you confirm? Does it taste like creamy salt water?
It tastes like pennies.
Yes,
That's
so
what
it's
I.
salty. So like
Yeah,
copper?
kind of. Yeah, like you know when you like a kid
May-
and you throw a penny in your mouth and you got that weird metally taste. It's like that.
No, but I am tempted to
Okay.
lick a penny now. I've got plenty of coins.
So either just cum in general tastes like blood, or your penis was bleeding at the time.
You know, I have multiple reasons to
That's
believe that the second
exactly
option's probably true. But
Oh, can I tell you guys the time I
that
came
is
blood?
exactly what blood tastes like,
Can I tell you?
or at least my blood.
Can I tell
Oh.
you about you guys
Go
about
ahead.
the time I came blood?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
yes, please oblige our listeners at home that are definitely they signed up for this,
I
definitely.
mean,
Definitely
it's
are
called the
listening still.
Hungover Hour. I mean, anything fucking goes.
Yeah.
I think the title of this episode should be something like really like childish or wholesome,
I'm gonna
like
probably put it like a
Smurfs
podcast about cum.
Smurfs 2011 review, and then we just talk about it.
No, just like copy a go to like any torrent websites, search Smurfs 2011. Get like like those titles, those file names that are like Smurfs 2011, like
DVD
1080p
rip.
BR rip, Big
Yeah.
Chungus Darksiders company release, like
.exe.
.exe, .wave, .mp2, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that should be the title of the episode. That's what I'm throwing my hat in the ring for that. But anyway, but also if you want to do anything besides Smurfs too, that's fine. Just any random old kids movie like I think Dougal. I don't know if any of you remember Dougal, but that'd be a
Dougal
good
is a
idea.
Remember
classic.
Arthur?
Oh my
There
God.
was a movie where Snoop Dogg played a tiny elf person.
What movie was that?
It was called Arthur.
And it's unrelated to like Arthur the Aardvark?
No, yes, it is unrelated to that.
Okay, I've never heard of this.
It's a completely different movie that somehow got 2 sequels. And I don't think anybody's like heard about this. They would have to like see actual images from the movie in order to jog any memories.
Yeah, what
You
the
know-
fuck is it about?
I don't
Hold on, I'm gonna look up the the movie right
like
now.
Snoop Dogg. I've seen that man. There is like on his own Instagram, he posted like this guy was like, "Oh, Snoop Dogg's always chasing the bag," and it was like in a Portuguese cell phone ad,
Right.
like all this random wild shit you would never expect him to
Right.
be on, and he's just vibing as Snoop Dogg, and it's like I respect it.
Yeah. Okay, so this movie came out in 2006. And the description is 10-year-old Arthur must find a way to keep the home of his beloved grandmother from being destroyed by a developer with other plans. Remembering his grandfather's story of a treasure, he enters the world of tiny beings who live in his garden together
Oh my
with
God, Arthur and the
Princess
Underlings.
Olivia.
Yep, Arthur.
Yeah, I
Underling,
looked
what?
it up. It's got, so not only does it have Snoop Dogg, it had Freddie Highmore, aka Charlie Bucket, or what the fuck is that
Yep.
show called? The
Norman
Yeah,
Bates.
the Good Doctor also. Madonna, Jimmy Fallon, David fucking Bowie, Mia Farrow, Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel, Jason Bateman. How the fuck do they afford all these fucking like high profile stars and musicians? Like the budget for the film
They somehow
was only 85
85 million.
I bet most of that went to like Madonna and David Bowie and Jimmy Fallon and
Oh
Snoop.
yeah, 100%. Like
It could be.
I remember that movie because I just remember as a kid, I'm like, wow, this animation looks kind of shit. Like, so I think it's just like, oh, we're gonna pay the actors, and then the animation studio can get a mill. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how they made money off that movie, but they did,
not much.
and they made 2 other movies.
Also, I gotta say, it's directed by the same guy that directed The Fifth Element and Lucy. I don't know if you guys have seen either of those movies. I've seen
Lucy's
Lucy.
a good one.
Oh,
Lucy's
and
a
he
real good
directed
one.
Taken.
Fifth Element was
He
good.
directed Taken as well.
I don't know who you are, but I've said skills that many. I don't remember the fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We all remembered it at one point, but
Yeah, dude.
I will find you.
And
I will make you ride down the telescope. Okay, the second movie was so fucked up. Okay, there's an actual scene where they're like, okay, for whatever reason, right? The moon's not activating the telescope. You can't go into the tiny world the normal way, right? So they take these ropes and they just wrap this boy in ropes, right? And then they just start pulling as hard as they fucking can. And the rope starts wrapping around his head, and he's reduced to a fucking stick.
wait, are we still talking about that other movie, or are we talking about Taken?
Arthur. I'm talking
We're
about
talking
Arthur.
about
That is a
Talking
scene
about
in the
Taken
second
2, I
movie.
was really confused.
No, Arthur 2. There's a scene where they wrap him in ropes and they keep pulling him until he turns into a fucking stick.
Yeah, that whole time I really thought you were talking about Taken 2. I was like, that doesn't sound like something that happened in
Yeah.
Taken 2, because I've seen that movie.
If you can manage to find the clip though, it's kind of disturbing.
God.
I'll have to look into. I've never seen these Arthur movies before. They sound pretty shit though.
They
At
are,
least
and
to an
like
adult.
I remember I had their.
I would imagine it'd be fun to rewatch.
I had their the PS2 game for the original.
Of course,
movie.
there was a PS2. God, I miss licensed
Dude,
movie games.
Every single movie had a licensed game back in the day.
Yeah,
But-
I miss that shit.
For
and
real.
That one was so bad because like they were like, oh, we're gonna stay as close to the script as possible, but the script does not correlate well into a movie.
Right.
Yeah. I think trying to think were there any decent examples of movie tie-in video games that work?
Spider-Man
yes,
2 for the
the-
PS2. Spider-Man 2 for the
Spider-Man
PS2.
2.
Oh my god.
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King is an incredible
one.
video game.
Yeah.
I personally enjoyed the Harry Potter and the Chamber of the Secrets. I enjoyed. I don't know if that's the general consensus, but as a kid, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I used to like the Lego games, like the Lego Indiana
Oh yeah,
Jones and
the Lego
Star
games
Wars.
are in a league of their own. Honestly, the Lego games are much better than they have any right to be.
Like, have you guys played a recent Lego game? It's really strange how they like, there was no like voice lines whatsoever in those games.
Yeah,
Now
I want
now
to.
they do, and it just takes
Right.
away that charm that I always had for them.
I don't know.
I agree.
I'm
to an
interested
extent.
in.
I've actually played the entirety of Lego Lord of the Rings because of course I have.
Of course.
I understand why they why they made the decision to just use like footage from the movie, because I feel like if they just did it in the style of like Lego Star Wars, where it's just all the characters are like like that, it would have probably been a lot more effort. I don't
Yeah.
think it detracts from the experience that much, because they can still have that level of silliness like in the actual like in the
Right.
in the levels, and like in the Lord of the Rings version at least, there's like a whole overworld, and so that there's like plenty of room for like just weird silly shit. But yeah, I get it. Like I also liked it when it was just them just mumbling to each other.
I want to play Lego City Undercover.
Oh god.
I hear that the gameplay and the writing is really good.
It's
I
a
actually
solid-
played a
it's
bit of
solid
that
game.
with my friend on Switch. We did couch co-op. Let me tell you, that game on the Nintendo Switch is not meant for 2 players. We were like barely getting 20 FPS.
Oof.
Yeah.
If a game is
I would probably play
I'll
PC.
be honest, if a game is split screen, it doesn't work on the Switch.
Yeah.
There's not enough power for it.
Like the new Hyrule Warriors game. Well, not new. I mean, it came out a couple years ago. But okay, Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Muso / Dynasty Warriors games. Are you guys familiar with them?
Oh yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll explain it. I'll explain the plot. So basically, its basis is referred to as 1 versus 100. So basically, you're like one character who's super powerful, and you're fighting through just waves and waves of like weak enemies, and you do like cool combos to wipe out a ton of enemies all at once, and that's like the whole game basically. And you capture certain parts of the battlefield to win. And they turn that into like a Zelda game, and they've made two of them so far. So I'm sure, as you can imagine, a game where there's like literally hundreds of models and assets loaded onto the screen at once on a fucking Switch is not very good. And then when you add split screen into the mix, it is like, and my friend like begged me to help him with a few levels in that game, and let me tell you, that has got to be some of the worst fucking performance I've ever seen in any video game ever. It was literally like the frame rate was just virtually non-existent. It was almost like watching a fucking PowerPoint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like, and that's an official Nintendo game. That's kind of that is not a good look for Nintendo.
There's
No, and
I
they're
think,
using hardware from like 2015 basically.
yeah, I think the
Well, the Switch came out in 2017.
Yeah, but like the actual Nvidia chip, like for graphics, I believe it's from 2015.
Right. Yeah, I don't. Do you think they're gonna end like what do you think their next console's gonna
I
look like?
I'm not even joking. I'm pretty sure it's a Switch 2.
Right, but if you think about it, has Nintendo ever done a sequel to a console? Like, for real?
The 3DS.
They kind of did a successor to the Nintendo. Okay, yeah, they had a Super NES, but that was like the only time they did it. They had, I think the closest thing that happened after that was like the GameCube is sort of a direct successor to the
No,
N64.
I was saying the DS and the 3DS. That's like the most direct successor they've ever had.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They just added an
I
extra.
thought you were saying the NES.
No, yeah, the DS and the 3DS, because I mean, it had better graphical capabilities and it had more buttons and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, that like they have. But the thing is, the Switch has sold so well at this point. I think they might try to ride that wave, I guess you could say. I could honestly talk about this for hours. Like the whole like back end of Nintendo is like a very deep thing.
Nintendo's
I
a
honestly
wild
think they're
place.
going to take the path of least resistance and probably just make a slightly stronger Switch. And but it'll be a new console. Like I don't know if it'll have backwards.
It'll be the new Switch.
Yeah, it's not going to be a Switch Pro. It's going to be its own thing because okay, all right, you know what? Tangent time. Fuck it. All right. So the thing is with the Switch Pro, like a lot of people were expecting like a stronger Switch, and to rival that of the PS5 and Xbox Series X. But the thing is with the OLED model, when Nintendo had actually initially like started creating the Switch, they had actually ordered like a ton of OLED screens. And the thing is, the graphics chip that the Switch uses is actually no longer in production, so they're not making new Switches. So the OLED model is essentially like the last Switch that they're going to be selling, unless they start making a Switch, with a different graphics chip, which is unlikely because I mean, we're pretty much it's been about almost 5 years since the Switch came out. We're approaching the end of the general lifetime of Nintendo consoles. I'm thinking once the OLED is done, once everybody's bought the OLED, which I believe they made 30 million OLED models, and I mean the Switch in general I think has already sold 100 million, which is a lot. But I think once they're done selling out all of the OLED models, and they're going to I mean, they're either working on a new console or they're working on a new version of the Switch that uses a completely different graphics chip. Because that chip that the Switch uses, it's not in production anymore. Nvidia is not making any more of them.
Yeah. I kind of wish Nintendo would go back to having a separate line of handhelds because I don't know I think as a handheld the Switch doesn't work super well. It's what I missed the most about like the 3DS was the fact that it was a handheld. You could fold it, throw it in your pocket,
Yeah.
right? With the Switch, it's a kind of you could technically fit it in your pocket if you really
You need a
wanted
big
to,
fucking
but
pocket.
like yeah, and the thumbsticks too would like get caught on your pocket,
Yeah,
and
and
that
those
I
thumbsticks
like
are weak as fuck.
yeah, I kind of would I don't know if you've ever seen like there's a Indiegogo campaign for like a little Android handheld called like the Ein
I've heard
something
of it. Yeah, I've
Odin.
heard of it.
Right. But what I like about the design is that it not only has like a rounded comfort grip on the sides, it looks, nicer to hold, but also the thumbsticks, they're more like full-size thumbsticks, but they're inside of the system and it's inside like a cavity, but the
Yeah.
cavity is wide. So you can your thumbs can still easily reach it and you can, it's a full thumbstick control, but it's low profile. It doesn't rise that much higher above like the buttons, right? So it's not going to get caught on your, jeans if you put it in your pocket or you throw it in your backpack.
I think the best of both worlds. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but the GPD-XD, it actually uses like the housing of a 3DS that's been modified, so it has two proper control sticks, and like the four
Right.
face buttons, D-pad, the four shoulder buttons.
I've thought about getting something like the GPD XD. My only gripe with it would probably be that the thumbsticks aren't clickable and you
Yeah,
have to have like
yeah,
separate
that
R3
is
and L3.
that is an issue. But I mean, I'm sure you. I mean, you could get used to it. Surely.
Yeah, probably. Also, the Retroid Pocket 2 is a good cheaper option. It's only like $100, and their newer model has um uh some kind of new chip, but it's powerful enough to emulate GameCube.
I'm gonna look into that. That's
Huh.
pretty nice. Also, quick protty break
Yeah.
again. I'm sorry. You can cut this out.
He's gotta pee really
I'm not gonna
bad.
cut this one out.
We're gonna hear all the
All the
piss.
piss is gonna be heard on this one.
Oh yeah. How long are you expecting this recording
I'm
to
gonna be
be?
honest. Just until we run out of shit to talk about, that's how I was gonna do it because didn't really have a set time for it.
Okay. Did you want to include a reaction to Deadly Wedding?
What is Deadly Wedding?
You want me here? I'll screen share a little bit of it.
Okay.
Well, we'll go in the full screen. So just remember, this is an edited version of like a pre-existing movie, but the most important characters have been completely removed from the movie, and so you have to try to like guess what the actual title of the movie is. Obviously, it's not Deadly Wedding. Okay.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
We're doing a little test
I'm
here,
having.
like,
Oh dear, I'm
yeah,
having
I don't think the
issues.
stream is working. Oh,
Oh.
Nope, media player is frozen right now.
Also, I'm looking at the Retroid Pocket 2.
Close pro.
It looks great, but I'm concerned about the ergonomics of it.
Oh yeah, okay, so it's tiny. Like it's about the same size as my phone, like a Google Pixel
Oh.
4.
Okay.
So you can throw it in your pocket really easily. It's just here. I'll let me turn my camera on so you can see how big it
Yes,
is.
I would love to see that.
Hello.
hello.
Looking
Hello there.
fantastic.
Look at your
my
beautiful
friend.
face.
Yeah, you look great.
Thanks. Okay. Wait, this is about how big
Oh,
it is.
Okay, I need that.
If-
I love it.
about
I need it. I
3-4
instantly have
inches. That's sick.
a nerd.
And then
bar XD.
this is okay, and then this is like it's about the same size as my phone.
Okay, I need
Okay.
that. I need it.
Bro, I just got a Steam Deck and I'm
Yeah.
now kind of regretting it. I kind of want that more.
Wait,
Okay, well no, I'm still hyped for my Steam Deck because infinitely more powerful.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm really happy that I'm getting a huge tax return so that I can finally pay off all these fucking bills, and I can
Right.
finally get a fucking
Yeah.
Steam Deck like I've been meaning to, so that I can
Yeah.
play fucking Dark
This
Souls
is
3 on the Steam Deck.
yeah.
That shit looks
This is
like
how it kind of
an
holds in my
original Game
hand.
Boy. That looks like
Battery's
it died.
dead on it, but yeah.
Yeah.
And their new model has a bunch of new colors that go with it as
Is
well.
that the 2? I'm looking at the 2 right now. It says it's about $100.
Yeah. You should be looking at the 2 Plus. The 2
Yeah,
Plus
the 2
is
Plus. Yeah,
$99.
that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the older model. So this one can barely emulate Nintendo 64, but the new 2 Plus model has a new CPU in it, and it's running Android 9, and that can run N64 just fine, and it can also handle GameCube.
Can it
So I'm told.
run it well though? Like I want to be able to like play.
There is review footage of it that you can look
The
at.
Look
GPD
into that.
pockets. I know
I
about
think-
the
I
first
think
one.
it
The
can
first
handle-
one's pretty good. So if the second one's even
Yes.
better than the first one, yeah, it can handle
Right.
shit.
Yeah. So if you're running the GameCube emulator at like its native resolution, or the screen's resolution is like 480p 4:3, then it should be able to run it at like 30 frames per
Well,
second.
that's all I need. You know, I just need to be able to play it. I don't even care about frames.
Yeah. But look at the review footage and see what they say about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that. There's just something about just
Um,
like relatively small handheld gaming like peripherals that just it tickles my fancy.
Oh, so I do have to bring up something that is relatively small that I found in my neighbor's house today.
Yes, let's hear it.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
So
Go ahead,
my neighbor, fairly nice guy, 48 years old, lives with his mother. Strange, a little strange here and there. Like I didn't really think much about it. So the back window to his house, I can just straight up see into. Like I can see just everything in there because like our fence is fucked up right there. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. I thought like that's a really large Barbie doll he's got back there. Okay, whatever. Not really thinking much about it.
Oh.
Thinking like it's his mom's. And I was talking to his mother because she's a very nice woman. She is super kind, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't know why he won't take his girlfriend out." And I'm like, "What? Oh, his girlfriend. Take his girlfriend out. Like, what do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, out of the house." I'm like, Oh, so I haven't seen a woman go in that house. There's just a large Barbie doll in the back. That's strange. Huh.
Sus.
A little sus, Just, a man's got a 13-year-old proportioned sex doll.
Here's the thing. The thing.
Not beef. Okay, look, first thing, if I had something like that, that never leaves my room, right? Yeah. And then 2, that thing needs to be at least 6 feet tall.
Bro, I've seen the ones online. It's like fully realistic, like 7 feet tall, just 1-to-1 scale. And those things are so
I want to be towered. Okay.
You want to be dummy mommied by the Resident Evil 8 lady.
I mean, who doesn't? But if I were to get a sex doll, there are very specific things I would need from it.
Yeah. And 13-year-old body is not one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That's the opposite. Like if you you have the list and then you flip it over and then there's the not list.
It's the list of no's and that's on the top.
I need that thing to be as buxom as humanly possible. That's all I will speak on this matter.
I can't really say shit because like every girl I've ever dated's under like 5'6", so. Yeah, that's my bad.
I mean,
a little
height is
bit
one
suspicious.
thing. I'm just talking about like, if we're talking about like the sex doll, like, it needs a very specific body type in order to pique my interest. But again, that's all I'll speak on the matter.
Do you want to try to guess what this movie is?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. Hopefully that'll work this time. Can you see it? All right.
Yep.
All right. That's the Universal logo.
And some 80s music.
Could be a hint.
This cop hates the gays.
This cop is very homophobic. I can already tell. God, I am not gonna guess this. I'm gonna be honest.
There'll be some extra clues.
I rescind my answer because I already know what this is.
Bro, what?
So we're really seeing if
I'm just curious.
Connell
I'm just
can-
curious
Okay.
if Connell can guess it. I already know.
Deep
what this
deep
is.
lore.
Yeah.
I barely watch any movies, so I'm never gonna guess this.
That's cringe, Connell. You're
Oh.
cringe. Imagine not watching movies. See, I've never seen the
Fuck,
movie
man.
that this is, but Plonk has actually shown me an edit of this before, and I know what this is.
God damn it.
Yeah, an earlier
An
one.
earlier one.
This version is cut down to 29 minutes. I edited all the ending as well, so now it's even more of an awkward mess.
I will say, Connell, the font they use in the opening credits will give you a hint as to what kind of movie it is.
It's a horror. It looks like a horror movie.
Yes, it's shot like a horror movie. Also, the type of music should definitely give you an idea of the time frame.
Yeah.
80s, early 90s.
Oh, for sure. Oh, not fucking needle nose.
It's the pigs.
Okay, so that's a 90s Impala. That's all I can say.
It's Mr. Baldman.
So it's a 90s horror movie. Now you just have to guess which one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. 90s horror movie. Fuck. Saw. No, Scream.
You'll have
Saw came
other
out in
hints
the
too.
2000s.
Shut the fuck up. Scream.
Scream came out in the 2000s.
God damn it.
Okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm fuck.
Okay.
I'm so confused, man.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets more confusing.
What? What? What's with the audio?
It's trying to keep the voice lines out, you fuck.
Got it. It's a mysterious caller. Okay.
The guy has a really shitty connection.
What the fuck?
It's clear your experience with YouTube poop has helped you here, Plonk. That guy really looks like Alan Tudyk, but I know it's not him. He's too young.
It'd be young Alan Tudyk.
I mean, out of curiosity, I want to look it up now. For anyone who doesn't know, Alan Tudyk is the villain in the first season of Doom Patrol, and he was also in Star Wars Rogue One and probably other stuff.
Snap.
Okay, no, he's not in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, when this movie came out, he would have been in his 20s, so it could have been him, but it wasn't.
Some look-alike.
Yeah.
Someone's about to die. Someone's about to die.
Gotta kill Warren before he kills us.
God, there's $1,000. I can get an apartment. Damn, this is
I mean,
definitely
maybe-
a 90s movie.
Yeah, maybe in the 90s he could have, not now.
Someone's got to die. Come on.
Also, who
It's
is this actress? She's like distractingly hot.
Is this Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Hillary Duff or some
It's
shit.
not Hillary Duff. Hillary Duff is. I don't find her attractive.
No. I don't know who. She's definitely been in a couple of movies around this time. Kind of a rising name. You'll get your first death scene here in a minute. What's with the tie? So it's like some combination of a tie and a scarf.
So while we're watching this, guys, what do you guys think of instant noodles?
Instant noodles are like my
Pretty
go-to
cool.
for most of my meals.
You know what my favorite
Yeah.
kind of noodles are? The yakisoba ones. You ever had the yakisoba ones?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, those are pretty good. I usually don't put the vegetable
Oh yeah, no,
packet in there though.
I do it without the vegetable also. My favorite flavor is the spicy chicken. It's spicy as fuck, but God, it's so fucking good.
Oh yeah. If you do like one packet spicy chicken and one pack of beef, or one, it's pretty good.
I gotta try that. That sounds good. I like the spicy chicken enough to where like I really like it. It's so spicy and it like takes me a little while to eat it because 5 minutes.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Undescriptive amount of time passes.
Well, no, it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes later.
Oh.
All right, there you go, Kanedal. There's your first death.
Let's go. Bro, I have no clue what movie this is.
What?
I still have no clue what movie this is.
We'll have more clues.
I will tell you that these scenes are like the most non-descriptive scene. Like these have like nothing to do with what the actual movie is. Like it's so irrelevant that there's no way you could guess what it was if you didn't know what movie it was. I only know because Plonk told me before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is so obscure and I am so confused. I have no idea what is going on.
Yeah.
Are there actual hints, Plonk, or are you just like bullshitting us? Not me, mostly
Oh,
Kanedal. Are you
okay.
bullshitting Kanedal?
I
I know
I'm-
what it is. Are there
right.
actual hints?
Right. I'm not sure. The original edit had, those like shots of the, in the background.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. We're going to go to, okay. We're going to go right. Oh. I want
Hey,
to.
David, that's my name. I'm David.
Are you sure? Hey. Oh, here's the one I'm looking for.
Hey, Kanedal, would you fuck her?
That's Coniddle right there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Uh-oh, door open. Right, okay, so they're having a phone conversation, right? Lady walks in, they're dead.
Oh, so this was like late 90s. Okay. Oh, that's who that is. That's why she's so distractingly hot.
Is it?
I will not say not, but she is a model. That's all I will say.
Yeah.
Also, she was very young in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm never gonna guess this.
Okay, well there may be something you'll notice in the background.
Pull over now. That was the most unenthusiastic yell I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Okay. After this point, it starts to get a little bit more confusing.
Oh, David's dead. What? Oh, New Jersey. That makes a lot of sense. Of course they're going to New Jersey. Of course the murderous people are going to New Jersey.
Oh, how much of this are you following so far?
I'm trying to follow. I'm just confused.
Kanedal, would it help you if I told you who that actress is?
No, because I have no idea who she is, like at all.
It's Katherine Heigl. What did she say?
You know what? I could have left it in. That might have been a hint.
I like how you used your face to censor her mouth. That was really funny.
It's the perfect face of a little bit disappointed, little angry.
Any
Oh, there's
guesses
the
yet?
hint.
Is that
There's the
Chucky?
hint.
Is that fucking Chucky?
No comment.
Is it fucking Chucky? Is this fucking Chucky? Have I ever watching Chucky for the last like 15 minutes?
Not Chucky.
Return of Chucky? Which one?
Close.
That's not a
Closer.
movie.
I don't know. I've only watched the first one.
It's Bride of Chucky.
Ah,
Came out in 1998.
the fuck.
Yeah, that. I was thinking the hint was gonna be subtle, but that was not a subtle hint. And I
Where did you see the hint though? I might have missed it.
There was
you
this
can just
large
fucking
pan
see
shot, and you
Chucky,
just see
yeah.
fucking Chucky in the corner.
yeah, you just see him just chilling
Yeah,
there.
there he is.
Oh, there he
Look
is.
at his. He's in the middle of the
Fuck,
fucking
okay.
screen.
I didn't notice that. I have to
You
go
didn't
hide it
know-
now.
No, don't hide it.
Okay, fine.
That's
God
like
damn-
the
it's
only
fucking
way
Chucky.
anyone could conceive. It's Bride of Chucky.
Okay.
Uh,
I do.
fuck.
Yeah, it stands to reason. Like, what does any of this have to do with a silly fucking doll that murders people?
Yeah. And like, what is left of the movie at this point?
No one's ever gonna believe this. Yes, what happened though?
Oh, I love this last bit with the fucking guy. There's a scene where he's just poking the ground for like 2 minutes.
He's cut out everything but him reacting to it. Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Oh. That's
Dear God.
So, like, just assuming that this movie lived in like a bubble, just as it was, like, what would you have thought of the movie?
I would have thought that was made by someone as a student film or something, because that was confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you able to like figure out like, okay, was there some things like holding them hostage or like?
No, I was just like, what the fuck is happening until I saw Chucky, and I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Ah. Oh shit! I got a fucking stomach ache, dude. Ow.
You good? What did you eat?
Remember that pizza?
Oh yeah,
What kind
a
of
whole
pizza?
pizza. Don't eat a whole pizza.
I ate Pomero's.
What was on it?
It was just pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Pepperoni is the best kind of pizza. If that makes me a basic bitch, then I am a basic bitch, and I fully accept that.
That's
Have you ever been to Marco's
I
Pizza?
don't think that's an East Coast thing. I've never even heard of it.
They have like old world pepperoni.
What is
It's,
old world
it's kinda like
pepperoni?
It's kind of an uncured pepperoni, and they kind of like they cook it a little bit before they put it on the pizza, and then they cook the pizza, so it's a little bit extra crispy.
Ooh, that sounds nice. I do like me some crispy pepperoni. Is it thick?
It's thin, but it's like this uncured pepperoni, and they put that on top of the other pepperoni, so there's a lot of pepperoni by the end of it.
I like slightly thicker pepperoni. Have you ever had Lido pizza?
No, I've never
They have
heard of it.
square pizza, and they put thick pepperoni on it. It's so fucking good.
There was this one like the real Italian pizza shop that I went to in Rome. They had big like flatbread Sicilian pizzas
Ooh, that sounds so
with
good.
actual and the pepperoni was like you could it was real shit. They just like rolled up little balls and put them on the pizza and then cooked it.
Ooh, yeah.
They took that straight from the butcher shop or
Why do
something.
fake porn bot accounts keep following me on Twitter? I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Maybe you're not
Maybe
doing
you're
anything
following
wrong,
too
and
much
that's why.
porn.
I follow like 3 accounts of people that show their titties. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, three's all you need, though.
need.
I guess. Also, I gotta go to the little gamers room. I'll be right back. But again,
For sure.
Would we mark this the end of the recording? Should I
Yeah,
close the window?
I think we're gonna yeah, we'll end it off. Thanks everybody for listening. Episode 2 next week. Yeah, shit. Yeah, thanks.
Shit and piss.